If you're watching this, you're seeing something different. I've actually blurred out my background. It's weird. Ooh, my hands, they're gone. Oh, let's see part of the background. Oh my goodness. If you're listening to it, you're missing the experience. But I always show my background in my house. But so far, I can't gesture with my hands or move too much. This is very interesting. Hi, this is the Dallas Aftershow. Oh, this is my hands again. Well, hi. I can't help it. This is the Dallas Aftershow here on JLJ Media. And you guys actually, there's a lot of listeners. So thank you. You do listen to the podcast, which is available everywhere where you find streaming podcast services, like Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc., etc., etc. But many of you watch this, of course, on my YouTube channel, JLJ Media. And hello to all the Dallas groups, the Facebook groups. Hello, you guys. The ones on Facebook, the ones on Twitter. Thank you so much. But I'm trying something a little different. Why not? I'm trying something a little different. Change it up. You saw the title. So as many of you know, I've done an episode on this. I'm not a huge fan of the Dallas TNT series, just not. There's one good episode. There were a couple of good moments. There was lots of potential. Bringing on Judith Light and having her be around his mother, her being a little creepy, there's a lot of good stuff. There was some really good potential stuff. Emma could have been a better character. Pamela Rebecca was started out kind of good. She could have been a better character. Elaine didn't do much for her. Elaine, I mean, there's a lot of things I felt like could have been better, and they know to do with Christopher. It's. But one of the things that I can't remember, and I'll admit this, I can't remember fully because I was not invested. But there was something where it was revealed, I think it was a JR's will or whatever, that he has a daughter out there. So either it was suggested or inferred. You guys out there would know better than I do, but that actually is kind of like the minor point of this podcast episode. I was just thinking, what would it be like if JR had a daughter? Would there be something you guys would have been interested in? Because either way, they could the show ended, so they couldn't even explore that. But JR being the womanizer that he was, interesting if he had a daughter. We're more interested if he had a daughter while he was alive. Like what storyline possibilities could that have been? His interactions with Lucy were always kind of funny sometimes. She always called her Uncle Jay out on things. But he never really went that far with them either. He always had sons. You know, John Ross, of course, the apple of his eye. When he got James, were you guys happy? Sasha Mitchell came in there. It's funny because I enjoyed that season finale when James tricked him and he ended up being in the mental institution. I loved it. That actually made me laugh. But James Beaumont coming on, I thought it was interesting plot points. Of course, they didn't fully, again, there was some storyline there. And the whole Callie thing came, and possibly there's a kid with Callie, but I think it was a son also. Like, it was always male oriented. So they explored that stuff. And of course, in the TNT series, they explored a little bit with John Ross, also being John Ross III, and JR. But they didn't. And that's even when Christopher was a kid, there was some little bonding moments with Uncle JR too. I always said, of course, that Christopher should be more like JR and John Ross should be more like Bobby. I thought that would be a much better thing. Why is my phone ringing? Of course, you guys, this is live television. 1 second. I need to turn my phone off. Tell me what you're calling me. Okay. I'm recording this. I'm not going to stop it. This is just how life works sometimes. Now I turn to that. Okay. So, so they always explored the male stuff with JR. He kind of said about, Bobby had Charlie for a while when he was with Jenna Wade. So there's a little bit of that. And Ray, too. But he never really explored JR with a girl. Like, wow, that would be. So what do you guys think it would be like? And if you guys, those of you who remember the TNT storyline that they didn't fully explore, obviously, should JR have a daughter out there? Would JR have other children out there? Because he was such a, well, let's say JR slept with folks sometimes to get ahead or to get certain business deals. Mandy, of course, was different. Yeah, I just want, should you have more children out there? I mean, or is this enough? I don't know. I'm just wondering. But anyway, there's no Dallas right now anyway to even explore that. But maybe one day they do a next generation or something like that. That's funny. So anyway, I just want to bring that up because I was thinking about that today. I was thinking, I don't know why it pops in my head. I said, well, let me come to the podcast and talk to you because you guys will definitely tell me how you feel and what's going on. So remind me the situation. I don't feel like going back trying to find it. Remind me the situation. Was it just inferred he had a daughter? Or was it, I don't know, it was confirmed? And should he have, what would it be like, should he have had a daughter? Or should just been sons? And that's it. I mean, I know she's more Ewings. There's other Ewings out there. And there's a lot of Ewing men that were blood loaded. We need some Ewing women, of course. There could more of those. I'm James Lott Jr. Dallas Aftershow here on JLJ Media. Thanks for watching us. And this background is so crazy. I will talk to you guys next time with another episode. And take care.